Club football has returned. Bayern Munich has won 11 matches in a row. The Premier League is anybody's to win, and we preview the MLS playoffs as they conclude their record-breaking season. Let's get into it. This is Between the Posts. Hello and welcome back, everybody, to Apollo HOU Soccer Podcast. Welcome to Between the Posts. I am your co-host, Eric. We also have Enrique with me.
What up, what up?
Yeah, how's everybody doing? Welcome back. We're going to be talking about some of the Champions League matches that we have coming up this week. We have all the matches from the weekend. We entered the international break. Anything that you want to talk about before we get started with the show? Any shouts out, anything like that?
Shout out to Morocco. They saved football. The under-20s World Cup has concluded. The final was Morocco and Argentina, and the good guys win this time around. Morocco beats Argentina, and yes, I'm happy for that. And only the best beat Morocco, the champions, which is Mexico. So let that sink in.
Yeah, if Diego Cochin didn't get called up by Barcelona, that USA Morocco game goes very differently, but it's neither here nor there.
Yep.
It's really something if we get upset about an under-20 World Cup. But
yeah.
We don't do that on this show.
Yeah, but we move on.
So this weekend we saw some really banger matches, some really big ones involving, of course, your Liverpool squad. I guess you could consider them my Manchester United squad because I like to berate them all the time.
I think it's our favorite because we equally love to
we love to talk about Manchester United. But United get a big win against Liverpool, 2-1. Their big signings, huge contribution, and Bueno with a goal, and then of course Harry Maguire getting a big goal.
I haven't heard that name in a while. I mean, I've heard of Harry Maguire for a long time, but it's on the back end of it. Mm-hmm. Like if it's something negative, they go to him.
It just seems like Harry Maguire goals seem to be the thing that gets United fans really, really excited. You know, they had that. I think it was against Lyon. They had that really big 5-4 comeback win.
Yeah,
Harry Maguire has the goal to seal it. You know.
Yeah.
So maybe Harry Maguire gets them back on some sort of path. 2 wins in a row for United.
Yeah. We need 3 more so that guy can get his hair cut.
Yeah, 3 more wins. Yeah. That guy can cut his hair. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah. But it is Manchester United, so just be ready to keep it growing, buddy. But you never know, man.
We're gonna give credit where it's due. Congratulations, United, on getting a second big win. But I mean, Liverpool lost right before the international break. They come back. They lose again. 2 in a row.
Actually, it's our 4th consecutive loss.
You've lost 4 matches in a row?
Yeah.
Liverpool's lost. Okay, so that's why people are saying Jurgen Klopp should go coach Liverpool again.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But we'll get to that later on in the episode. We'll touch
talk
base
about it
on
later.
it.
But other big matches this past week from all around the world. Crystal Palace and Bournemouth, which maybe at the beginning of the Premier League season we don't think is that big of a matchup, but right now seems to be pretty big of a matchup. Crystal Palace, of course, having that long streak of unbeaten matches. They lose earlier this year, come back, get a big 3-3 tie, a draw against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, one of the top teams right now in the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, like it's they got all this praise in the beginning of the season, which is good. Like it's very well deserved, and just to see that it's still continuing on to this day. We're not even close to halfway to the match, to the match season, but they're still up in the talks about being one of the greatest. They deserve it. It's well deserved.
Yeah, I'm big on Bournemouth. I try to follow all the teams where there's Team USA. Starters and guys that are going to contribute at a high level to the national team. So for me, Bournemouth, one of those places. Crystal Palace has Chris Richards, of course, but Bournemouth has Tyler Adams, some other guys over there. So that was a match I was paying attention to. And it turns out that it's going to be a pretty big indicator of where these teams are at come to the end of the season. I think both of these teams should be competing for European football at the very least. Conference League, Europa League, if not Champions League for a team like Crystal Palace. So pretty interesting match that occurred this weekend. Elsewhere, PSG gets a 3-3 draw with Strasbourg. I don't think PSG realizes, fans of PSG really realize, like, teams are nipping on their heels in that league right now.
The farmers are rising up.
The farmers are rising up.
I
mean, you have a team like Marseille that's actually leading Ligue 1 right now.
Yeah.
Marseille is, I mean, they had a big 6-2 victory. Not talking about the guy who scored all the goals because we don't like that guy. So we will not say his name. However, they got big contributions. They got big goals. Marseille, first in the league right now. And, of course, Bayern Munich got another win against their division rivals, their conference rivals, Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, and how does as a Bayern fan, how do you feel about that?
You know, I feel like Bayern is the best team in the world right now. We're going to talk about that later. But generally, I mean, it's the same guys over and over for Bayern. It's Harry Kane, it's Michael Olise. I just think they've got an identity. They're sticking with it. Vincent Kompany has impressed me immensely. I'm on this show talking about how I don't like the current coach of Bayern Munich.
Mm. But yeah, he's surprising
But yeah, he's
everyone.
been the best coach in the world thus far. He's got the best team thus far. Obviously, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. Vincent Kompany is a good coach. Great for Bayern. Great for the city. So excited to see what they do next. But we do have a segment on them in a little bit. But yeah, Bayern Munich, PSG, some of these top teams right here. Liverpool on a downward slide.
Yeah.
There's really not. I mean, Arsenal currently lead Premier League football right now.
Which is crazy to say.
And we know that Arsenal are not going to win the Premier League, so we just completely disregard that. But really, it's anybody's game right now in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like we said, Arsenal sits at the top. Maybe it is their year. Liverpool losing 4 straight. What are they going to do? Is it time to make a change at manager? Is United going to compete for European football this year? They're about 9th in the table, I think. So Premier League is very interesting to me personally this year. There's always the top teams. There's always the cities. There's always the Liverpools. There's always the Arsenals at the very end of the season. But I think it's going to be a lot of teams that we're not used to seeing. Sunderland is like 7th.
Yeah.
And they're recently promoted.
So we're just gonna wait to see what happens because now, like as we were talking about, like it's anybody's game. It's anybody's game to win. It's anybody's title to go through. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some new faces coming the next season of the European tournaments.
And we're not that far away from the January transfer window either.
Yeah. So these teams can improve. They can lose their value. They can decrease. It just
are some of these really good players that are on some of these mid-table to lower-table teams, are they going to get bought?
Yeah, you're just going to have to, you start prepping up to play chess. Right now, you're somewhat playing checkers right now. But once January hits, you start playing chess. Like, okay, what is it can we do to improve, like, tactically or even, like, sometimes it's not even tactical-wise. It's aura-wise. Aura-wise? Or just vibes in general. Like you need sometimes yes, tactics win also. They win you games, but if you don't have the passion for it, then that kind of brings back your tactics a bit.
Or perhaps there's a player on your squad and it turns out that guy is just going to be a nuisance until he gets what he wants, gets the transfer he wants, or gets more playing time, what have you. Maybe you can make your team better by getting rid of a guy.
Yeah, it's just chemistry. If it's not tactics, it's chemistry.
Yeah, so. Teams hoping that chemistry takes them pretty far in these Champions League matches that we have this week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, of course, Champions League match days. Tuesday, we've got Leverkusen versus PSG. If PSG, don't play well and Leverkusen do, I can see, perhaps a draw or a loss here for PSG.
Yeah.
They've had some defensive miscues. I still don't think they have it figured out in goal with Donnarumma leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I think they know what they want in goal, and it just hasn't materialized quite yet. So look at that match for PSG as something that's going to be really interesting for them going forward in this Champions League. Arsenal is going to play Atletico Madrid. I think it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah, I think that's the match of the match day. So if I were y'all and you're big football fans, circle that one. I think that's one match to keep your eyes out.
Yeah, certainly circle Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. That's going to be a really good indicator of how good La Liga really is. I think La Liga is very good this year. Real Madrid playing well, Barcelona playing well.
Yeah, but then they also
Atleti, that third dominant team in that league, I think.
Yeah, and there's also a challenge for the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, Arsenal's on top. Are they actually
Are they actually that good?
Yeah, are they meant to be on the top, or they're just doing it because, or are they there because the other teams are like, they're not as good right now. So
Yeah.
it's just this is a match where you can actually say La Liga versus Prem. This is that match.
Yeah, we've got a couple of La Liga matchups. Real Madrid will be facing Juventus on Thursday. I think that'll be interesting to see where Juve is at as far as what they're going to be able to contribute to European football this year. Of course, Weston McKennie at Juve right now. Hopefully, he can help them win some Champions League games. I'm not quite sure. That Juve team is just super mid, I think. But
yeah.
I really it's. I mean, there was that Hater Central post this week about 6 total goals scored in Serie A in 10 matches. There was 4 games that ended 0-0. It was just like Serie ass. It's just like.
I think I went through that post. I was going through Twitter, and then it came up. I was like, huh. And then I just kept on going.
I just think it's really funny because it's just kind of true.
Yeah.
Serie A is just full of defensive masterclasses and teams not really playing attacking football, playing very much possession-oriented defensive football.
Yeah, and this is where football gets its bad name. 0-0 in 6 matches. Come on, bro. Throw a little wrench in there.
Yeah, somebody score a goal, please. I think there's gonna be loads of goals scored between Bayern Munich and Club Brugge. That being said, I think Bayern are going to score most of them. And Monaco and Tottenham are going to be our next matchup that I think we're really paying attention to.
Yeah.
Tottenham, potentially European football candidates. Maybe Europa, maybe Premier or a Champions League football.
But if they already won conference, you already go to Europa.
League. So they're in Europa this season, but I'm talking about for next season.
For next season, yeah.
Because it's all about where you finish this season, and if you finish 12th this season, but maybe you win, if you win the Europa League, I guess you're in Champions League and you can finish 12th, and that's fine. But still a lot to work for Tottenham this season. So for Monaco, I'm watching Monaco pretty much for Fowler and Balogun at this point. If Tottenham can get into that 6 to 8 range and kind of stay there, I think that'll be good enough for them to. Because I don't really rate the rest of these teams that much. I think that'll be good enough for them to potentially win and get into some of the knockout rounds of this Champions League season. It'll be interesting to see who they match up against, I think.
Yeah, like we said, these matches are from Tuesday to Thursday. There's a lot of football being played those days, so pick your favorite one. Like we said, our between the posts game to watch is going to be Arsenal versus Atletico Madrid. So keep your eyes out for that. But
Yeah,
it's just football in general. Just keep your eye out for it.
Yeah. So these are teams that are potentially going to be lingering around for these European Championship trophies at the end of the season. These league trophies at the end of the season. Man, I would love to see a good Tottenham team. I would love to see a great Arsenal team. Mm-hmm. They've been really, really close.
But they just can't get over the hump or the hill. They just can't. They haven't found it. Maybe this is a season that they're able to do that. But only time will tell.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong for believing that Arsenal will just inevitably fall out?
I don't think you're wrong for it, but you will get laughed at. That's the thing. It's just that everyone has a team to hate. At first, it was
Go
Spurs.
Gooners!
At first, it was Spurs, but they finally won a title.
Now it's Arsenal.
So now it's Arsenal. It's just, and then once Arsenal wins something, they got to find another team.
Yeah.
I think it's leaning more towards Man United than anything else.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our best to make sure that happens.
The hate watch is real. The hate watch is real.
The hate watches are always real here on Between the Posts. We have a brand new segment. We're debuting it. It's called Change My Mind.
Change My Mind.
It's totally original. Nobody's ever done this before. And so,
It's not for content. Not at all.
not at all. So what we decided to do, we're going to come up with a couple of controversial, inflammatory statements, and we're going to challenge each other in the comments to change our minds on what we say.
All right.
I'll go first.
Okay. Actually, no. You know what? Let me go first.
Okay,
'cause
you go first.
I think this question's very biased.
You go first.
Okay. No, you know what? No, yeah. You go first because I've read the first question in my head already and I processed it. You already have an answer
Okay.
to this, so yeah. Go off with me. Let's go for it. Come on.
Okay. Bayern Munich are the best team in the world right now. Changed my mind.
I mean, right now, if you look at all the other leagues, and you look at how the farmers are unionizing, and they're toppling the government, which is PSG.
Okay.
They've been going at it for so long, and the farmers woke up. They decided.
I follow the metaphor.
Yeah, and then just how there's a free fall where Liverpool was supposed to be the top dog this year because they signed so many top class players and nothing's working out. So now you have Arsenal, which is on a potential fraud watch at the moment. Which are so is Liverpool. Liverpool's in a fraud watch because they're just on a free fall right now. Man City is nowhere to be found. I haven't heard of them in a while, even though they may be doing good, may be doing bad. It's just Man City is just being Man City, I guess. Last season was just so abysmal for them that they can't do nothing. Barcelona and Real Madrid, they're just neck and neck with each other. We can't really decide what's what. But going off of that question, I think Bayern is the best team in the world right now. I know that makes you happy on the inside and it gives you butterflies. But I think that it is what it is. Like Bayern has just been on top of everything. They've been top class. And I feel like if you give them a Barcelona, a Real Madrid, or another match with PSG, I feel like Bayern will come out on top. But now here, let me rebuttal that question for you. Now.
Okay.
Is it the team that is good, or is it company that's good? Now let's take away how your hatred for company is there. Like let's take that away.
Well,
is it the team or is it his coaching style that's good?
I think it's his style, and I think he's giving that squad the freedom to attack in any which way they want. I think he's allowing the best players to do what it is that they know how to do the best. Harry Kane is, very much in the defensive formation. He's very much a weapon in that defensive formation.
Yeah.
When they win the ball back deep, Harry Kane can create the outlet pass. He's proven time and time again that he can be not only a goal scorer but also a creator and a good defender. And I think Kompany is utilizing him the best that he's ever been utilized in his career. I think that it's a combination of top-class players that have been unlocked by a top-class coach. And I wasn't impressed with Kompany and where he finished at his previous coaching stint with Burnley. However, very obviously knows what to do with these players, very obviously knows what to do within this organization, and they have a load of confidence in him as a coach. He has a load of confidence in them as players, even the young guys. I just think that they're patting each other's backs right now, going, "Hey, we did a good job." Famously, Bayern didn't buy anybody this window either.
Right.
They didn't buy anybody in the transfer window. They got everybody they got in the transfer window was a loan, or just a contract signing. They didn't go out and buy any new players. So if you're looking at teams like a Liverpool that went out and spent $300 million plus on new players, and they're having myriad success, and then you go out and see a team like Bayern that invested in team cohesion, invested in their coach, bringing together a squad that already knows each other, that already has played together, that already like each other. And I don't think you can underappreciate like what losing Thomas Muller means to that organization either. So Yeah, I think they've done a really good job replacing pieces that left and incorporating somewhat new pieces like Nicholas Jackson, or they're when guys are out, they're incorporating like their left back right now, Lamier. He's been excellent. So yeah, I don't think you can make any argument that they're not the best team in the world right now.
All right.
Okay, we've got another one here.
Alrighty.
The MLS playoffs are going to be entertaining and worth watching this season. Changed my mind.
I think yeah. I think this season there is a lot of we saw with the what's that one, Leagues Cup. Sorry, I was having a
No,
major,
there's too many competitions.
yeah. I'm not saying like which
So
one is
many.
it. Going through the files like of what it was, but Leagues Cup.
On this show, in the 4 months that we've done this show, we did the Gold Cup, the Club World Cup, the Leagues Cup, the Under 20 World Cup. Like,
There's a lot of cups, a lot of tournaments, but hey, it gives us
plenty
you know,
to talk about.
Yeah, but with this, I feel like we saw with the Leagues Cup that Liga MX versus MLS, that's something that we wanted to see and we got it, and MLS just dominated.
Yeah.
They dominated Liga MX and then they basically just took over. Whenever the runner-ups for a long time, they went ahead and took over that position, and now with the whole of this season, that there's top-class players that are still in their prime, or like something like they're like ending of their prime, come over to the MLS and they revive their careers in a way, or if they're already top-class talents, they just continued to like push that even more. I think this is the season where you could sit down and be like, you know what? Like, it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna wait to the finals or whatever, or like just watch like football and see who wins. I think this is one of those this season is the tournaments where, like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna sit down and watch some of these games because actually you have no idea what's gonna happen.
If it turns out to be like a Miami or even like a Union LAFC final, or a Miami San Diego FC final, like, that excites me.
Yeah.
Some of these teams in these leagues, like, the West is stacked. Vancouver, LAFC, San Diego FC. If you pick any of those teams to win the West, I think you're in the right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think realistically, we're looking at like 5 or 6 teams in the East and the West. Like, Miami finished third in the East.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're thinking that a Miami-led Messi team or a Messi-led Miami team can win the East when there are 2 other teams that are technically better than them over the course of the league season, that's exciting.
Yeah,
I mean, you're looking at 6 teams that you go, yeah, that's parity.
Yeah, I feel like this season everyone's like somewhat, hence on the word somewhat, evenly matched.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you had like the top dog, like Miami was supposed to be your, like, the Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was supposed to be like just taking on everyone, but you finished third. So that proves and it shows how evenly matched these playoffs are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you may have some teams that are a little bit better than others, or actually not even in this case if they're evenly matched. Some teams are going to be a little bit on the lower end than others, but they can have a good game and they just take over. So it just depends how the teams are feeling that day, or because anything can happen. And I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Anything can happen, and this is the tournament. This is the season to watch the MLS.
I
tournament.
agree. Definitely this season, this playoffs, for sure. You got to be watching this playoffs. I mean, at any point you can be seeing LAFC versus Seattle, LAFC versus San Diego FC, San Diego FC versus Seattle, Vancouver versus one of these teams. Eventually, once we get past these initial couple rounds, now there's a conversation to be had about why MLS does 3 weeks for their first round. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
But they do the first game, and then like 5 or 6 days later they do the second game, and then 5 or 6 days later they do the third final deciding match. If they do a best of 3, which is crazy. Like, why are we doing best of 3 series? That's insane.
Yeah.
And then the next series they don't even think is a best of 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So MLS is a playoff structure is really strange. They take a lot of time. They take more time in between their playoff matches than they do their regular season matches, which I don't agree with at all. I'm excited. I'll be watching. I'll be seated for this playoffs, and you're likely to hear about it here on the show. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be covering the playoffs, and we'll tell you the winners as they are announced and as the games happen. I've got one more thing I want you to
Yes.
change my mind about.
Okay.
Liverpool will be playing Europa League football next season. Changed my mind.
You're gonna get the unbiased of me. Uh, and it's gonna sound like I'm dodging it, but it's too early to tell right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the way how it's going right now. Like, if the season ended today, of course we're not gonna be in Europa. But if you let's say we go to the end, let's say the end of November,
Okay.
I could say, even though I love my Reds, we'll probably be in Europa. But I feel like there's just something behind the scenes that's going on that we don't know about. And I'm not dodging like the question at all, and I'm taking it head on. But my answer is it's too early to tell, but because I feel like something's going on inside. I feel like there's egos clashing because yes, we have top talents coming in left and right. Yes, there's a new coaching style that they're not used to. Yes, we are in the hunt for Klopp once again. But I mean, it's just like that's any team. Like any team that you can go, you think for, you're in a slump. Like, oh, let's bring back old coach. Let's bring back this that. Let's get rid of ex player. So on and so forth. And like I feel like Liverpool, as a whole end of the fan base, we're so used to dominating and like winning our matches that we forgot how it is to be on the losing end of that stick. And for right now, that stick's getting long, and we don't know how long it's gonna take. Hopefully, it turns back around. But if I had to paint a picture, like how I mentioned like the doomsday button, I'll start having my hand on the glass, and lift it up, but halfway, a halfway raised glass cover, because yes, let's start planning for the worst, but I feel like it could be resolved once we find out what's going on internally. Because if you're able to equalize, like it took a while, but we equalized. But then you just can't find the rhythm to like keep the match going and go for another one. Something's going on. Either it's tactic wise, either it's communication, either it's a coaching style that needs to change. Not the coach in general, but a coaching style, because we had Klopp for a long time, and this is the first season where we don't have him, and there's times that we need to adjust, but I feel like we're past that already. We're past the adjustment period.
Well, yeah, and I think potentially you could see some of the players start to turn, because Jurgen Klopp was so great, and a lot of those players are still there. I think you could see some of those players that endured that success turn around on Arne Slot and say, this isn't what we need. And if he doesn't adjust as the manager, you could see him lose the locker room.
Yeah.
And I find that players that have championship pedigree and experience, the players know what it takes to win. And every now and then, the game evolves to the point where the managers no longer know what it takes.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand that dynamic. I don't understand the dynamic of how you go from a first place club to you lose 4 matches in a row. And what are we going to be saying next week when Liverpool loses another match? You know what I mean? If it turns into 5 matches, or if they win next week but they lose the next one after that, like, is winning and losing like that, where you lose a couple of matches, you win maybe 1 or 2, you lose, you win 1 or 2. I don't know how much confidence you have going into the highest level of football that you have in that team, where week in and week out, you're playing in the Premiership, and maybe you beat a Everton 2-0, but then you turn around and you lose to a Newcastle.
Yeah.
Maybe you beat Burnley, and then you turn around and you lose to Brentford. Like you say, there's a lot of matches left to be played. I'm going to be looking at Liverpool with a lot of interest, because if this continues to go the way that it has, I think you're going to see a lot of players leave. I think you're going to see a lot of fans call for the coaches to be changed. I think there's going to be a lot of turnover at Liverpool if this continues.
Yeah, but to give you an answer, I'll give you two. If the season ended in November, yes. But because we're playing a full season and we're doing the whole thing, I feel like no.
Okay.
Those are my answers.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to say for our Change Your Mind segment? Can I change your mind about anything?
I mean, no. I mean, these are you had my gears turning right now, but don't worry. Next week I got you.
All right. Next week he's got me.
Next week I got you.
All right, man. This is gonna be our final segment for the show. We're off the pitch. Nottingham Forest sacked their manager. Ange gets sacked again.
Yep.
He was only there for like 39 days, less like a month and some change.
Yeah.
He hadn't won since the first match day of the season. He gets axed real early. And
it took one half.
Yeah.
It took one half.
I mean, the owner of Nottingham Forest came out and basically, either through a publicist or an interview or just something he said, maybe I'll just become the manager.
Yeah.
Which, that's never going to work. So he's interesting, this guy. So he owns Olympiakos, or Olympiakos, or however you pronounce it, in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And they're they're 10-time domestic league winners, since he took over in 2011 as the owner. They're incredibly successful. They compete in Champions League football. They play Barcelona, I think, this weekend in Champions League. So how is it that you have this great team in Greece and you're managing Nottingham Forest and you can't figure it out?
It's a different beast.
I agree. It is a different beast. The Premier
beast.
League's completely different. But for you to have the hubris to say, "I'll just manage the team myself," Sean Dyche is also pegged to be the new manager of Nottingham Forest. We'll see if that happens. It hasn't happened yet, but yeah, I just thought that was crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, dang.
And then last week we talked about the FIFA banning matches in La Liga. So we have some developments on that. So La Liga captains, all 20 captains in La Liga got together, and they decided that they're just not going to play the first 15 seconds or 20 seconds of matches.
Yeah, it was first 15 of
the first 15 seconds of matches.
Yeah.
They're just not going to play. And that's in protest of La Liga's decision to have a match in Miami. What La Liga decided to do is really interesting. La Liga put up a middle finger to the players and said, oh, if you're going to protest that 15 seconds or however much time before the match, we're just not going to air that part of the match. I don't know what they've decided to do instead of airing the 15 seconds of kickoff. I don't know what they've decided to do, but they're deciding to hold a big middle finger up to the players, and that's insane to me.
Yeah. I feel like if this continues on La Liga, because it's totally on La Liga's fault.
Oh yeah, it's La Liga's. Yeah. It was La Liga's idea. They went to UEFA. They said we want to do this, and now FIFA is pushing back. UEFA themselves even said this is a regrettable decision. I think we're seeing La Liga double down on a decision that even the people that help keep their league together and things like that. People that are putting money into the leagues and giving money to the teams,
even they don't like it.
Yeah, that's a dynamic I'm just not going to understand for a long time.
Yeah, and if this doesn't get changed or resolved soon, because
this could have a ripple effect going forward.
And I don't think you can change it, because when's the match, in November or?
I think so.
Yeah, so you probably can't change it anymore because venues are already booked. All the
decisions are final at this point. I think like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Decisions are final.
Yeah, but you have to be able to bounce back from this, because why is it that we just found out like a couple of weeks ago that it was happening? Like, this is something that you talk about in the off season, that this is gonna happen, but we're just now finding out, or like now it's getting some media attention. I don't know, but if this doesn't get resolved soon, you lose sponsorships, you lose fans, you lose credibility, and you may just lose everyone in general.
Yeah, and certainly you don't want your team presidents in your yearly league meetings, like being really, really obnoxious and unhelpful.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a league official, like I know in the NFL, the league's meetings between the owners, the owners' meetings are always like centered around rule changes and like salary cap things, CBA things. If La Liga gets together and tries to coordinate these things with the owners and they just say screw you,
Mm-hmm.
La Liga itself could be in trouble.
Yeah.
So
because then you run
the risk of these big teams going, you know what, we're just gonna
Super League. You get
a
your
Super League situation where maybe the top teams maybe the top 8 teams in La Liga decide, you know what, screw La Liga, we're now going to start our own league. We're going to put the money up for our own league, and then you can see these smaller teams opt in with some sort of like cash opt in. Maybe they pay $30 million to the league, you get in, and then you can continue to play league matches in 2026. Like, we could see La Liga itself, if it doesn't figure it out, maybe this is like doomsday scenario, worst case scenario, but if it doesn't figure it out, we could see La Liga itself implode. Like, this is that big of a situation, I think. Like, especially given their response.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's very minimal, and it could be, handled.
Sure.
But if not handled accordingly and quickly, it can all implode.
Yeah. Speaking of handles, you can find us on Twitter at BTP Official.
Great segue.
You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok, Between the Post Official. Man, we love doing the show. Come hang out with us on Apollo HOU. We're going to be releasing every week. We've got great content all year long. Soccer happens all year, never sleeps, never stops.
Yep.
Even during the off season, we had so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And it felt like the off season was so short. So
and we have maybe potentially some live streams coming up soon. Maybe
Hopefully.
There's an event in Houston that you want us to attend. Let us know. Let us know in our Instagram or Twitter or X, however you want to call it. Even our TikTok. Let us know, or shoot us a DM, or whatever you want to do. Send us mail. I don't care. Let us know. Let us know where you're at, who you're repping, and maybe we'll come out of one of these events. You never know.
Yeah, we just want to build community in Houston regarding football, regarding soccer. So help us out with that. That's been us. I've been Eric.
I'm Enrique.
Take care, you guys. Thanks.
Peace.